In the annals of antiquity, few figures cast a shadow as profound and multifaceted as Solomon, a name that resonates through the corridors of history, religion, and the arcane. He emerges not merely as a monarch, but as a legendary enigma, his narrative a rich tapestry woven from the threads of historical account, spiritual veneration, and the decidedly supernatural. This figure, often described as a king, endowed with unparalleled wisdom and immense power, is also spoken of in hushed tones as one who commanded the very denizens of the spirit world, demons and Djinn alike. The mysteries surrounding him only deepen with the accounts of his fabled temple, which is said to have vanished without a trace, and his legendary wealth, which remains to this day unrecovered. Before we continue with this exploration of the mysteries of King Solomon, if you like this type of content, then please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future video. And check out another history channel I'm involved with called Folks of Yore. We just put out a video on life in a medieval castle, so check it out. Let's dive in. The historical Solomon, as recorded in biblical tradition, emerges as the third king of Israel, the distinguished son of David and Bathsheba. His reign is traditionally depicted as a golden age for Israel, marked by widespread prosperity and significant expansion of influence. According to biblical accounts, he ruled for 40 years, a period during which he not only secured crucial diplomatic alliances, but also oversaw the monumental undertaking of constructing the first temple in Jerusalem. It is commonly suggested by historians that Solomon's reign, if indeed it unfolded as described, would have been a period of remarkable development for the Israelite kingdom. While the biblical narratives provide rich details, scholars often engage in rigorous debate regarding the extent of his historical footprint, given the scarcity of contemporary archaeological evidence directly corroborating certain aspects of his rule. Nevertheless, his portrayal in these ancient texts firmly establishes him as a pivotal figure in the early history of Israel. Solomon's most celebrated attribute, and indeed his defining characteristic, was his extraordinary divine wisdom, a gift bestowed upon him by God in a dream. The biblical narrative recounts that when presented with the opportunity to ask for anything he desired, Solomon chose wisdom over personal enrichment or martial power. This profound choice is perhaps best exemplified in the famous account of his judgment between two mothers, both claiming to be the rightful parent of the same infant. His discerning solution, which threatened to divide the child in half, revealed the true mother's heart. His reputation for wisdom transcended the borders of Israel, reaching the ears of foreign rulers and philosophers who sought his counsel. Solomon is traditionally credited with the authorship of several biblical books, including Proverbs, a collection of moral and practical teachings, and Song of Songs, though the definitive nature of this authorship is a subject of scholarly debate. In essence, his wisdom became a beacon, illuminating his reign and securing his place as a figure of unparalleled discernment. Solomon's kingdom, as depicted in ancient texts, was a realm of unparalleled opulence and burgeoning prosperity, a flourishing testament to his strategic acumen and divine favor. This immense wealth, which became a hallmark of his reign, was not merely a matter of fortuitous circumstance, but the direct result of a meticulously cultivated network of trade, judicious diplomatic marriages, and the regular influx of tributes from vassal states. The king established new trade routes that served as conduits for an astonishing array of precious commodities, transforming Jerusalem into a vibrant hub of commerce. From distant lands flowed rivers of gold and silver, alongside mountains of precious stones and exotic spices, all contributing to the kingdom's burgeoning treasury. The sheer scale of his riches is underscored by the biblical assertion that he received 666 talents of gold annually, a staggering sum that highlights the unprecedented affluence of his court. The material splendor of Solomon's kingdom was vividly manifested in his personal effects and public works. His throne, a masterpiece of ancient craftsmanship, was said to be meticulously crafted from ivory and pure gold, flanked by 12 regal lion statues. Beyond personal luxury, Solomon also dedicated significant resources to strengthening his military might. He established a formidable armed force, equipped with chariots, horses, and advanced weaponry, reflecting a comprehensive approach to both economic and military power. However, this era of unparalleled prosperity was not without its shadows. The grand projects and lavish lifestyle of the Solomonic court were sustained by a system of heavy taxation and, according to some accounts, forced labor. This economic burden, while fueling the kingdom's expansion and glory, is believed by some historians to have sown seeds of division and resentment between the elite echelons of society and the commonplace, ultimately contributing to the fracturing of the kingdom after his death. Solomon's wealth, while legendary, carried with it the inherent complexities of power and its distribution. Among the myriad captivating narratives woven around King Solomon, the visit of the Queen of Sheba stands as one of the most intriguing and enduring. This mysterious monarch, drawn by the pervasive reports of Solomon's unparalleled wisdom and immense prosperity, embarked on a vast journey, laden with gold, spices, and precious stones, to test the limits of his renowned wisdom. 1 Kings 10 states that she came to Solomon and spoke with him about all that was on her heart, and Solomon answered all her questions. There was nothing hidden from the king that he could not explain to her. After witnessing his wisdom and the splendor of his kingdom, she declared, "The report was true, which I heard in my own land about your words and your wisdom. Nevertheless, I did not believe the reports until I came and my eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity surpassed the reports which I heard." Then she presented him with 120 talents of gold and a very great quantity of spices and precious stones. Similarly, 2 Chronicles 9 recounts her visit, echoing the narrative of her testing Solomon with hard questions and her astonishment at his wisdom and the grandeur of his court. The precise geographical location of the Queen of Sheba's kingdom remains a subject of considerable historical and archaeological debate, with speculation often pointing to regions encompassing modern-day Ethiopia or Yemen. Regardless of his exact whereabouts, her expedition was a testament to Solomon's widespread reputation, culminating in her presenting him with vast riches. The story of the Queen of Sheba resonates across various religious and cultural traditions, each imbuing it with unique layers of significance. In Islamic tradition, she is known as Bilqis, and her encounter with Solomon is depicted with an emphasis on her conversion to monotheism, a narrative that underscores the persuasive power of divine truth. Ethiopian legend, as recounted in the Kibra Anast, expands on this encounter, claiming that the Queen of Sheba and Solomon conceived a son, Menelik, who subsequently founded a royal dynasty in Ethiopia. This cross-cultural diffusion highlights the profound impact and adaptability of Solomon's legend, evolving and taking on new meanings as it traversed different lands and belief systems. The immense wealth amassed by King Solomon, a central pillar of his legendary status, is often attributed to mysterious and remarkably rich sources, chief among them the enigmatic land of Ophir. Ophir is consistently mentioned as the primary origin of this vast influx of gold, along with an assortment of other precious metals like silver and a variety of exotic goods. Despite its legendary status as a fount of riches, the precise geographical location of Ophir remains one of history's most persistent and alluring mysteries. Speculations regarding its whereabouts have ranged widely, encompassing regions as diverse as southern Africa, India, or the Arabian Peninsula. The enduring allure of Solomon's lost wealth has given rise to numerous legends, most notably those of the lost mines of Solomon, which have fueled countless treasure hunting endeavors throughout the centuries. The mystery of Ophir's location in Solomon's wealth persists, with no definitive evidence found despite treasure hunting efforts. Solomon's most monumental achievement, and indeed the enduring symbol of his reign, was the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. This magnificent development, however, no longer exists, with no trace of its original structure remaining today. It was built on Mount Moriah, a site traditionally revered as the location where Abraham nearly sacrificed Isaac, imbuing the temple with profound spiritual significance. The construction of the temple was a colossal undertaking, taking 7 years to complete. It utilized luxurious materials, notably cedar from Lebanon, and its interiors were sumptuously covered in gold. The temple's architectural design followed a specific pattern, comprising 3 main sections: an outer court, a holy place, and the innermost sanctum, the Holy of Holies. Within the sacred confines of the Holy of Holies, the Ark of the Covenant was housed, serving as the central repository of the 10 Commandments and the holiest object in Israelite tradition. Tragically, this architectural marvel and spiritual heart of the kingdom was utterly destroyed by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II in 586 BCE. The Ark of the Covenant, the most sacred and revered object within Solomon's temple, and indeed within ancient Israelite religious life, remains shrouded in profound mystery regarding its ultimate fate. This gold-covered chest, containing the stone tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments, served as a tangible symbol of God's covenant with Israel. Its disappearance led to centuries of speculation and myriad theories about its whereabouts. Among the theories proposed, some suggest it was destroyed during the Babylonian conquest, while others contend it was meticulously hidden beneath the temple before its destruction, awaiting a future rediscovery. Another popular theory posits that it was smuggled out of Jerusalem prior to the siege, perhaps taken to a distant land. One of the most prominent and enduring theories is championed by the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, which claims to possess the Ark in Aksum, Ethiopia, where it is said to be guarded in the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. Despite relentless efforts and enduring fascination, the true fate of the Ark of the Covenant remains one of history's most compelling and elusive enigmas. Despite his pervasive fame and the extensive narratives surrounding his life, Solomon remains to a considerable extent an enigmatic figure within the verifiable historical record. A notable absence of contemporary inscriptions, monuments, or direct archaeological evidence directly attributable to Solomon has led to ongoing scholarly debate. Unlike many other rulers of his presumed era, there are no definitive non-biblical artifacts that unequivocally confirm his existence or reign as described. Consequently, the primary sources of information about Solomon are religious texts, predominantly the biblical books of Kings and Chronicles. This reliance on religious narratives raises questions among some scholars, who debate whether Solomon was a genuine historical monarch or perhaps a symbolic, composite figure whose story evolved over time to embody ideals of wisdom, wealth, and divine favor. However, it is also argued that a lack of direct archaeological inscriptions does not necessarily preclude his historical existence, as many ancient figures, especially from smaller kingdoms, leave behind limited material traces. Nevertheless, the mystery surrounding the historical reality of King Solomon persists, positioning him at the intersection of faith, legend, and historical inquiry. Solomon's later years, despite his celebrated wisdom and initial piety, were marked by controversy and significant decline, leading to a fracturing of his once unified kingdom. The biblical account points to his extensive foreign marriages as a primary catalyst for this downturn. He is said to have taken 700 wives and 300 concubines. Many of these foreign wives, in adherence to their native customs, introduced and practiced the worship of foreign gods within Israel, a direct affront to Yahweh and the monotheistic covenant. The very policies that had contributed to the kingdom's grandeur and the pervasive use of forced labor for his ambitious building projects bred deep resentment among the populace. This simmering discontent, coupled with the religious apostasy, culminated in severe consequences. Following Solomon's death, the unified kingdom fractured into two distinct entities, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah, marking a significant decline from the golden age he had presided over. This narrative of his fall serves as a poignant reminder that even the wisest rulers can succumb to human frailties and political misjudgments. During the Hellenistic period, Jewish apocalyptic literature revealed a pronounced focus on angelic and demonic entities, a theological shift that saw exorcism become a staple of Judean religious life. Within this evolving spiritual landscape, King David was established as the prototypical exorcist, notably through his treatment of Saul's madness. Solomon, inheriting this spiritual lineage as Ben David, or son of David, was consequently attributed with a similar, if not greater, capacity for controlling malevolent spirits. Further evidence of this burgeoning interest in demonology and ritualistic control can be found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which contain various Hebrew and Aramaic exorcistic texts. Notably, the Dead Sea Scrolls text 11Q Apocryphal Psalms illustrates specific exorcistic rituals employing the formula Mi Ata, or Who Are You, a direct address aimed at compelling demons to reveal their nature and relinquish their hold. This period thus laid crucial groundwork for Solomon's subsequent integration into broader traditions of demon control and esoteric knowledge. In Islamic tradition, Solomon is revered as Suleiman, a righteous prophet upon whom God bestowed extraordinary supernatural abilities. Unlike the biblical account, which details Solomon's later decline and embrace of idolatry, Islamic narratives consistently present Suleiman as an unwavering monotheist, exhibiting no such moral or spiritual failings. He was granted dominion not only over humankind, but also over a vast array of supernatural beings, including the winds, which he could command, and the powerful Djinn. A famous legend recounts how even in his death, his passing remained concealed from the Djinn, who continued to toil under the illusion of his command until a worm gnawed through his staff, causing his body to collapse. Solomon's popular image evolved dramatically, solidifying his reputation as an archetypal occult king, inextricably linked with the command of demons and the mastery of esoteric powers. This transformation is vividly illustrated in medieval texts, such as the 1473 Processus Belial, which depicted Solomon presiding over a celestial trial between Satan and Jesus Christ. Solomon was widely recognized not only as a wise judge, but also as a figure intimately familiar with demons and the practice of black magic. Magical handbooks purporting to be authored by him had circulated for centuries, testaments to his long-standing association with the Arcane. The widespread dissemination of Processus Belial, with its numerous editions and translations, further entrenched this image, featuring lurid, woodcut depictions of demons testifying before Solomon, and cementing his legendary status as a powerful sorcerer. In Kabbalistic tradition, Solomon is revered as a figure deeply connected to profound esoteric knowledge. He is associated with an understanding of the deeper workings of the universe, suggesting a gnosis that transcends mere intellectual acumen. Central to this association is his connection to the 72 names of God, a mystical formula believed to hold immense power and unlock hidden aspects of creation. Legends within this tradition further elaborate on his supernatural abilities, claiming he could communicate with animals and even exert control over the very elements. The Testament of Solomon represents the earliest known literary articulation of Solomon's purported ability to control demons through a magical ring for the express purpose of constructing his temple. Presented as a first-person narrative penned by Solomon himself, this text, written centuries after the historical Solomon's presumed era, meticulously details his interactions with various spirits. It describes a systematic interrogation of these demonic entities, wherein Solomon compels them to reveal their names, their specific powers, and their inherent weaknesses. Famous demons such as Asmodeus and Beelzebub are among those mentioned, forced to submit to his authority. The text explicitly claims that these demons, under duress, contributed their labor to the construction of the temple, acting as a supernatural workforce. Central to Solomon's dominion over these entities is a powerful magical ring, said to have been received from the Archangel Michael, which granted him unparalleled authority. This artifact, often referred to as the Seal of Solomon, supposedly conferred upon him dominion over demons, jinn, and even angels, enabling him to bind spirits, exorcise demons, and trap rebellious jinn in vessels. The text often employs the Mi'ata formula, mirroring other exorcist traditions as mentioned earlier, as a means of asserting control over the demonic realm. These narratives transform Solomon from a merely wise ruler into a sorcerer king in the popular imagination. His name became virtually synonymous with arcane practices, establishing him as the archetypal master of ceremonial magic and alchemy. This evolution is most clearly evidenced by the attribution of several key medieval grimoires, or books of magic, to his name. Among the most influential of these are the Key of Solomon, a comprehensive manual of magical operations, and the Lesser Key of Solomon, a compendium focusing heavily on the summoning and command of various demonic entities. These texts illustrate how the biblical king was reinterpreted and reimagined as a potent sorcerer, capable of manipulating supernatural forces for both practical and mystical ends. The very existence and widespread circulation of these grimoires bearing his name served to cement his enduring legacy as a formidable wielder of occult power. Solomon's legend, a testament to its profound symbolic resonance, transcends religious and cultural boundaries, manifesting in a myriad of roles across diverse traditions. He is simultaneously revered as a wise king in biblical accounts, a righteous prophet in Islamic tradition, and a powerful sorcerer in Western occultism. Ultimately, the true nature of Solomon remains an enduring mystery, a figure whose historical contours blur into the mists of legend and spiritual lore. Was he solely the wise and prosperous king, a master of spirits, or something even more complex and transcendent? The grandest of his achievements, the magnificent temple, remains unfound, its very location a subject of intense speculation. Similarly, the fabled Seal of Solomon, the magical ring said to grant him dominion over otherworldly beings, continues to elude discovery, its existence confined to the realm of myth and magical texts. Across the broad spectrum of history, faith, and occult traditions, the definitive truth about King Solomon, whether he was a historical monarch, a purely mythical figure, or a being endowed with supernatural powers, continues to elude a conclusive answer, leaving his legacy as one of the ancient world's most compelling and persistent mysteries. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of the mystery of Solomon. Will we ever find the truth? If you would like to support the channel, there is a Ko-fi and PayPal link in the description and pinned in the comments. But the easiest way to support is just to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future video. As always, check out my website, Oculus.com, and the other history channel I narrate for called Folks of Yore. Again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.